Hello, welcome back. I was recently in my husband's hometown and we went to the Botanic Center there. I had a great time. I absolutely loved it. I definitely want to go back. I took like a million photos and I've been kind of sketching from them and doing little things. There were like some distinct areas. So there was like a koi pond and with lily pads, and I really loved that. I definitely want to do more with that. There was like the indoor kind of tropical area, and there was this really awesome cactus greenhouse room. I was obsessed with the cactus greenhouse room. I've already drawn a few things from it, and I wanted to draw another scene. So I have this prepared page in my sketchbook. This is the Pith sketchbook in the size Cara Cara. I'm liking these. These are quite nice. I have a bunch of like pages and magazine pages that I've torn and put in here to protect some of the other pages. I'm trying to be better about that, even though it looks so ugly, but that's fine. Anyway, I was drawing in my sketchbook recently and I was using some acrylic paint markers and kind of maybe using them improperly in a few ways. I was going over like Neocolor 2s, which are water soluble, of course. So they were kind of reactivating and scuffing up and like blocking the nib on the marker. So I just started like trying to clean them off on this page, and I really actually loved the effect of it. So what I thought I might do is, since I just kind of went over the whole thing, I thought maybe it would be a good time to draw on top of this with the photos that I took from the cactus room. But actually, before I get too started on the Cara Cara sketchbook, I just want to do some quick thumbnail sketches in my kind of, my whatever sketchbook, we're calling it. This is like a sketchbook that I just use to do a lot of kind of practice drawing, and I do a lot of drawing sessions that I subscribe to on Patreon. I do them in here a lot because I'm often just looking to do simple line drawing. But there's all manner of subject in here: animals, people, plants, landscapes, a lot of birds. Love him. But anyway, that's not the point. I just want to kind of sketch out some thumbnails and figure out exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I really like this image in particular, and this is going to be a very like sketchy page. I'm not using paint. I'm going to just draw this with mixed media and a bunch of layering. So I'm gonna kind of go for something a little bit more stylized, but something I really love to do, actually I sort of didn't get this angle right here. Something I really love to do is play with the scale of things, like in the foreground versus the background. So I sort of took the photo this way already, but I just want to play up these plants that are here in the front, and I'm not going to be too concerned in my thumbnail about like what they really look like, but these will be the most prominent things. They'll be the things that have the most saturation in color, the most like the widest value range. They'll be kind of our main area to look at. But I love how these tables sort of create this shape going around the room and around the photo itself, and therefore hopefully around the painting or the sketch. So we've got some darkness down here, and I like how this line kind of leads us back. These will be, you know, soft, less detailed plants back here, nothing really crazy. I do love that there's a bit of this hanging plant kind of poking in. I might bring it down into frame more and give it a bit more prominence, because I think when we kind of move around the page, we'll sort of linger there before going further down and making our way to the front. So yeah, that's my thought. I just did a quick little outline there. This was just, again, for me to wrap my head around, especially like values and stuff, but this is what we're going for. Okay, got my stuff. I might reach for more materials, but I've got my pencil roll right here. I've got my iPad with my image up, and I'm gonna get started. Okay, here's what I have. I had to kind of stretch my proportions a little bit because, like I said, this frame, like this sketchbook's not the exact dimensions of my image, which is fine. So I just have like a bit more floor space. I may bring this table in to the frame a bit more, we'll see. But for now, I'm gonna get started drawing. Something I'm loving about this particular image too is the levels of things. Like all these pots, some of them are raised up even, but some of them are just like big and some are small, and I love when any reference has a lot of different levels going on. I think that's usually makes for a really good reference. And something like this, I mean, don't feel like you have to include every single thing. And I mean, in fact, I wouldn't advise it, because the fun part and like what makes this interesting to me is the fact that there's like so much stuff, there's so much clutter, and I'm going to have a lot of fun choosing where to simplify and where to add and keep my details. I'm starting with colored pencils for now, and I'm just sort of blocking in my shapes and my color and starting to carve away basically at the background, and then I'll sort of see what's needed from there. I know it's not maybe the total norm to use colored pencils over top of Neocolors, but I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like the effect it gives. It sort of like, it doesn't really go over top of it. It like kind of scratches it and scoots it out of the way in the same way that like you might with a, like you might get with like an oil pastel. But I think it's kind of neat. Just adding a lot more variety of color up here. And then things will kind of simplify as they go towards the back. But yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. I think one wish I have is that I made this plant bigger. So I'm gonna see if I can still maybe do that. I'm fixing some of these shadows because I'm realizing that they're not in the right place. Some of these are just like fully in shadow, so it was a little hard to tell. I'm just gonna make this whole one back here darker because it is like quite dark. I mean, light was really coming in everywhere. But I think I'm going to give more of an obvious light. You could probably tell I'm not terribly concerned with what the plant is specifically. Like, I'm not going for realistic plant anatomy. I just want the general idea. For these background plants, I'm gonna leave the texture of the page completely. And I think that'll be kind of a nice, softer, ambiguous plant texture for something that's like way in the background. kind of struggling with this area. I don't really like what's going on. So let's try some things. I'm just using a plain water brush. It's just water in here. And I have a combination of materials back here. I have some Neocolor 2s that are water soluble over top and mixed into some Neoarts that are not water soluble, but sometimes the Neocolor 2s just sort of go over top and hide what I need them to do, or they soften and kind of blend. Kind of able to remove some of what's back here. And then I can maybe go back over it. I'm gonna see if I can blend some of this texture in a bit on the floor area. Might not do it fully, but just a little bit. I think it's a bit much right now, a little too distracting, where I want the focus to be more on the plants, and you can still see quite a bit of the green poking through, which is fine, and I'm okay with that. So I just want to sort of soften the lines that I drew a bit. That worked, actually. Okay, that's fun. Just a quick little casual sketch in the sketchbook using mixed media. Let me know what you think, if you like stuff like this. I mean, I definitely want to continue doing more finished work, like with gouache and whatnot, but I think I'm definitely gonna continue to do these sorts of just fun, casual, sit down sketchbook sessions. I think it's important and good to spend time drawing things that aren't so serious and don't have to have a lot of pressure. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.